Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru and welcome to my weekly Facebook ads Q&A show. So during these videos I answer the Facebook advertising questions that I receive from my Facebook ads mastermind group on my YouTube channel over the last week. So if you want your question to be answered in next week's show, go ahead and join my Facebook ads mastermind group. There'll be a link in the video description, or leave a comment below this video and I'll try and include it in next week's video. Okay, with that said, let's get to the first question. Should you advertise content on Facebook if you're an e-commerce business? Now, a lot of Facebook advertising experts, me included, have advocated advertising content, promoting videos, promoting blog posts on Facebook to warm up your audience before you then go and advertise your products and services directly. For most e-commerce businesses though, I don't think this is necessary. I think you can go ahead and directly advertise your products to your target market. That's particularly the case if your products are, let's say, $100 or less, particularly if they're $50 or less. If you try and advertise content to those people first, you have to pay to advertise that content. And then if you retarget those people, you've got to pay again to advertise your specific products. That means you're effectively advertising to the same audience multiple times, which increases your cost per purchase, which is obviously going to affect the profitability of your Facebook ad campaigns. Now, if on the other hand, you're a service provider and you offer a service, services tend to be more expensive, but particularly if you offer a service that costs thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, then yes, you're absolutely going to need to advertise content first because you're going to need to warm up your audience. You need to demonstrate to your target market that you are an expert in your field, because if someone's going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your service, they want to know that you have the expertise to deliver on whatever it is they're buying. If someone's purchasing a $25 product from your store, they don't need to know that you're an expert or that your company is, you know, one of the foremost thought leaders in whatever industry it is. They just want to see that the product is good, and you can do that in one ad, in one campaign with great product imagery. They come through to the page on your website. You can have customer reviews and all that sort of stuff to help you make the sale. So for e-commerce businesses, no, I don't think it's necessary. For most of our e-commerce clients, we advertise their products directly to audiences on Facebook. For service providers, yes, advertising content first is a really good idea and often essential to actually be able to make the sale. Okay, next question. How do you reset the stats in a Facebook ad campaign? So I dug into this question a little bit more. Something was asked in my Facebook ads mastermind group, and I said, why do you want to reset the stats? And they said that their pixel was installed properly and they don't trust the data, they don't think it's accurate, and they don't want that data to affect their decision making going forwards. They just want to reset the stats. So the easiest way to do that is just to duplicate a campaign. If you've got bad data in a campaign, you don't want to be using that for your optimization process, go ahead, duplicate that campaign. That'll keep everything the same, from the targeting to the ad creative, all that stuff, and then run that new campaign. That'll give you fresh data. Obviously make sure you've got the pixel installed properly before you go ahead and do that. Okay, next question. Can you see how many people click on a call to action button on a Facebook ad? So call to action button, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the learn more, the shop now, the get offer, whatever it happens to be, the little button that is alongside the headline beneath the image or the video in a Facebook ad. Now, the easiest way, what you really want to know when you're looking at how many people click the click more button is how many people are clicking on the ad and going through to your website. So what you want to do for that when you're looking at your Facebook analytics is select link clicks and see. You can select link clicks. So when you're looking at Facebook analytics, you can customize the columns that is displayed. So you know where you've got performance, delivery, engagement, etc. Alongside that, or in fact, if you click onto that, beneath that, there'll be a customize columns option. Click on that, and that'll allow you to customize basically what appears in those columns when you're looking at your Facebook analytics. If you choose link clicks, and you can also look at cost per link click and things like that, that's what you want to use. You don't want to just use clicks, because that includes anyone who basically does anything with your ad, clicks the see more button to read all the copy, anything like that. If you want to track link clicks, which sounds like what this person wants to do, go ahead and select that option. You can see what it's costing you per link click. It's an important metric for all campaigns. Okay, next question. Should I create a conversion campaign if my pixel is brand new? So this is a question I get asked a lot. Everyone sort of accepts now that conversion campaigns on Facebook are best if your Facebook pixel has already registered a number of conversions, because they know what type of person converts and all that sort of stuff. And that is true, but should you run it if your Facebook pixel is brand new, if it doesn't have any data? Well, I think yes, you should. We've run an experiment. I released a video about this recently. I'll link to that in the video description, where we ran a traffic campaign alongside a conversions campaign with basically not completely, but basically a brand new Facebook advertising account. The conversions campaign still outperformed the traffic campaign. So even if your pixel is brand new, I would run a conversions campaign. And just be aware that your results at the beginning aren't going to be as good as after you've run that campaign for a length of time and you've got more data with which to use to allow Facebook to optimize your campaigns. So still use conversions, just know it's going to get better as you go along. Okay, next question. What is a Facebook ad set? So I fall in the trap of answering questions that are sort of advanced Facebook advertising, but that's silly. There are plenty of people getting started with Facebook ads and don't know what basic things are. So a Facebook ad set, there's basically 3 levels to a Facebook ad campaign. You've got the campaign level, you've got the ad set level, and then you've got the ad level. So the ad set level is the middle level. This is where you set your targeting and your delivery options. So you choose the location you want to advertise to, you choose which placements, where in Facebook you want your ads to appear, Facebook newsfeed, right-hand column, Messenger, Instagram, that sort of stuff. And you can also set what you optimize for. Do you optimize for conversions? Do you optimize for link clicks? If you have a conversions campaign, which event you're optimizing for, lead, purchase, etc. So basically, if you think of the campaign sets the overall structure, what type of campaign you're running. The ad set is where you set your targeting options and where you set your delivery options. So anything to do with who you're going to advertise to and when you're going to advertise to them. Then within that, you've got the ad, which is what is actually physically put in front of your target audience. So that's going to be your imagery, your copy, your headlines, your videos, etc. Now, within an ad set, you can have multiple ads. So let's say you've got one audience, you might want to advertise 3 or 4 different types of ads to that audience, whether you want to test to see which performs best, or maybe you just have multiple offers that you want to be running simultaneously. That's one way of doing it. So very simply, that's what a Facebook ad set is. Okay, next question. What's a good CTR for a traffic campaign on Facebook? So CTR refers to click-through rate. It's the amount of people that click on your ad versus the amount of people that saw your ad. Now, on Facebook, in general, across everything, I think 0.9%, so just under 1%, is the average click-through rate. I've written an article about Facebook advertising cost, again, link to that in the video description, that sets out what you can expect to pay per click, what you can expect to pay per 1,000 impressions, all that sort of stuff. And 0.9%, just under 1%, is an average click-through rate. Now, your click-through rate depends on a number of factors. So what type of campaign are you running? If you're running a traffic campaign, a campaign that's designed to get you link clicks, you would expect your CTR, your click-through rate, to be significantly higher. So you might be looking at something like 2% if you've got an engaging ad. It also depends on what you're advertising. If you're advertising a product, you're likely to have a lower click-through rate. You might be looking at, let's say 0.6, 0.7%, than if you're advertising a piece of content. You might end up with 1.5%, 1.6%. In general though, when I'm advertising products and services directly and I'm looking at my click-through rate, I use the 1% as a gauge. If I'm below 1%, that's lower than I'd like it to be. If it's higher than 1%, I'm usually happy. With that said, click-through rate is really a secondary metric. If you've got a 0.4% click-through rate, which would be low, but you're converting, your campaigns are very profitable, don't worry about it. It's only something I take a look at if my primary metric isn't working very well. Let's say I'm not generating as many purchases as I'd like, trying to work out why. Okay, let's now take a look at the click-through rate. You know what? It's 0.6%. That's lower than we want it to be. How can we make these ads more engaging to improve that click-through rate, get more clicks, and hopefully generate more sales off the back of it? So as a gauge, 0.9% is the average. I like to use a bit higher than that, 1%, as my gauge of whether it's performing well or not. But as I said, it depends on a number of factors. Okay, next question. What's a good ROAS for an e-commerce business advertising on Facebook? So ROAS refers to return on ad spend. And a good benchmark, I think, is a 3x, so 3 times. If you're putting £1 into Facebook and getting more than £3 back out worth of sales, I think you're doing very well. And of course, that can scale up. So let's say you're spending $10,000 a month on Facebook ads. If you're generating more than $30,000 a month in purchases directly from those ad campaigns, that's usually performing reasonably well on Facebook. Now, with that said, you can get ROASs, return on ad spends, that are much higher than that. So we've seen ROAS numbers as high as 20 times, which is obviously a lot more than 3, but that is unusual. We tend to think that a campaign is performing poorly if it's below a 3x return on ad spend. If it's above that, let's say between 3 and 4, it's performing okay. And if it's above a 4, then we're usually pretty happy with the results. Again, with that said, you have to factor in the specific business. So some businesses operate off really small margins. If you sell a product for, let's say, £40 and you only make 15%, £6 on it, you're going to need a much higher ROAS than 3x, otherwise you're losing money. You're probably going to need an 8, 9, 10 ROAS to make that profitable. Whereas alternatively, there are some businesses that have very, very high margins. You might have an 80% margin, in which case you might be happy with a 1.5x ROAS. You know, for every pound or every dollar you spend, you get $1.50 back out. So it does depend on the business, but as a benchmark, I would say 3 to 4x ROAS is reasonable. Above 4 is great. Below 3, there are probably things you can do to improve that. Okay, next question. So this is a bit of a longer one. I'm going to go through it. I'm generating leads for less than £3 each with a Facebook lead generation campaign, but the quality is poor. How do I improve lead quality? So this is a common complaint with Facebook lead ads. They're fantastic for generating leads. Less than £3 each is fantastic for most businesses, depending on the cost of your service or in fact your product. That's likely to be very profitable if you can get those leads to convert into customers. And that is one of the challenges with Facebook lead ad campaigns, is that people are often uncontactable. You try and follow up with them, you try and call them, email them after they leave their details, and you can struggle to do so. So one thing I would say is Facebook lead ad quality isn't fantastic, and that's just something you're going to have to live with. Just accept the fact that if you're paying £3 per lead, it might be more like £9 per lead because you only managed to progress 1 in 3 to the next stage of your sales funnel. Now, hopefully, £9 per lead is still profitable for you. If not, then you have to have a look at some other things. But that's what first thing I say is there's only so much you can do. Secondly, there's another thing you can do to improve your Facebook lead quality, and that's request more information in the lead form itself. So I always recommend asking for a phone number. If you're just asking for name and email address, you're really making things more difficult for yourself. So ask for a phone number and then follow up with people as soon as possible. That's my third point. Speed is really critical. If someone inquires, becomes a lead, you want to call that person as soon as possible after they do that and get that person booked in, or whatever it is the next stage in your sales funnel. You're going to see much better results. Doesn't mean you have to sit in front of your Facebook ad account all day and book in and be calling people, but if you can check it once, twice per day, that's great. Don't leave it 3 or 4 days. Your lead quality will really drop off. And then finally, if those things aren't working, you can always test sending people to your website instead. So leads generated via a conversion campaign conversion campaign that then people inquire through your website, are usually much better quality than through a Facebook lead generation campaign where they go through the lead form on Facebook. Now, the downside to that is that your lead cost is likely to go up and your lead volume is likely to come down. And that might be something that you want to weigh up. Some businesses really want higher lead volume and they don't mind if they're or it's not such an issue that the lead quality isn't that high. Other businesses, we work with an interior design company, a home cinema company, they're the complete opposite. They want quality, quality, quality. They're not really bothered about quantity because they only work with a handful of customers at any one time. Okay, next question. Is it a good idea to advertise to your Facebook page likes? So the people that already like your page, is it worth actually advertising to them? Okay, it depends on your objective. If you've got thousands or tens of thousands of page likes, that can be a really useful audience to advertise to. These are often people that are engaged with your business. They're usually a relatively warm audience, perhaps not as much as your email list or your website visitors. But whether you should advertise to them really depends on what you want to do. You will not reach the majority of those people organically. If you're promoting content, if you're publishing content to your Facebook page and hoping that these people see your posts pop up in their newsfeed, a tiny percentage will. I've got 80,000 plus Facebook page likes, maybe 300, 400 of those will see my posts organically. So if you just want to boost the post out to your Facebook page likes, you can do that very effectively and inexpensively. So that's something that I would recommend. Just put a few $5, $10 behind that sort of promotion, get a load of social proof on your page likes, get some interaction, get some eyeballs behind your content. If you're advertising your products and services directly, I probably wouldn't bother specifically targeting your page likes unless you've just launched a brand new product and you know that your page likes contain a lot of previous customers that might be interested in your new product or service. As a source of generating business directly, I don't think this is as effective as advertising to lookalike audiences based off previous customers or retargeting website visitors, people on your customer list, and stuff like that. So that's what I'd recommend. If you're looking to just get more eyeballs on your content, yeah, great, go for it. If you're looking to directly advertise products and services, probably not the best option. Okay, final question. What happened to the info and ads section in Facebook? So very good point. About early 2018, Facebook released an info and ads section where you could go to any Facebook page and you could see the ads that they were running. You could also see some other things like whether they changed their Facebook page name and stuff like that. Facebook have removed that, which I've had a number of questions about, people going, what, where's that gone? We used to take a look at competitors' ads. It was really useful. It can be frustrating. And they have removed that, which is annoying, but they've replaced it with something better that's called the Facebook Ads Library. So you can go in there and you can search for any page, you can search for other sort of keywords and things will pop up. But let's say you want to find a page, you can see the ads that they're running, you can see when that ad was first launched. So let's say you take a look at one of your competitors and you see that they've been running an ad solidly for 18 months. Well, you know that that ad is producing results. No one runs an ad for 18 months if it isn't successful. So it's really, really useful tool. Facebook Ads Library, I'll include a link in the video description. Facebook have gotten rid of info and ads, but they've replaced it with something much better, which is fantastic. Okay, so that's all the questions for this week. Hopefully that's been useful. As I said, if you want your question answered next week, join my Facebook Ads Mastermind group or leave a comment beneath this video. I will be sure to get to them. Please give this video a like and a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Facebook advertising related videos, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.